and welcome to Sanctuary Sunday. Sanctuary! Where anyone that wants to take a break, take a look at some games, whatever kind of games they are, but, especially taking a little bit of a break away from war games, can find solace and comfort here. Today, in Hell's Kitchen, of all places. Yes, taking a look at Unmatched Marvel's Hell's Kitchen. This is part of the Unmatched series. I've covered quite a few of the Unmatched games at least the ones I have. I'll put a link to that in the description. And I've been covering these Unmatched on my Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday, but I don't know, this is a little bit of a crossover and feels more comfortable. Feels at home on Sanctuary Sunday. Now, this is Unmatched, kind of entering into the Marvel universe. They're doing a whole series of games that have Marvel characters, and Unmatched is generally started off kind of as just a little bit anachronistic, just characters throughout time and literature and history, and portrayed them with their Unmatched system, and then they've also done some other one-offs like I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer, my goodness, and stuff like that. But this is now they're doing a whole Marvel line, and same game system, same unique built-in line of sight that I really like. But now you're getting you're getting Marvel characters portrayed in here, and these are generally standalone games. I mean, they have the characters you need, all the components you need for the game, including a game board, and then you can play these with the characters you have in there. You can play it with other Marvel characters, or you can play with any of the other Unmatched characters. I mean, these are, my understanding, are completely interchangeable because it's all the same system, with the cards and the built-in line of sight. So let's take a look at the back of the box here. You get an example of what the map looks like, some of the cards, and then you get to know what characters come in this. 3 characters come in this set. It's a Daredevil, Elektra, and Bullseye. So one reason why I thought about picking this up is not because of the movies, Daredevil and Elektra. Those were not necessarily the best in the world, but I've always liked the Daredevil character. Not a huge comic book person, but I did pick up a few over time because I pick up everything, don't I? And Daredevil, his backstory, he's a lawyer, so that is kind of near and dear to my heart, and a blind lawyer at that. So this is what you get in the example of some of the stuff that you get in here, but let's not look at examples. Let's get inside and see what we have in here. I don't know if I even have this started for me, so let's start it and get in here. This is Unmatched Hell's Kitchen. And Hell's Kitchen is a part of New York, where this in the Marvel, I don't know if is that Gotham, or is that no, Gotham that's Batman, right? So Hell's Kitchen, Daredevil, Elektra, Bullseye. Nice box here, decent thickness, good game box there. You can hear it hits the table. Here are the rules, and then you got your icon reference there. That's kind of cool. I like it when they don't waste space on the back of a rule book, because you can leave that off to the side and use it to help you play the game. This talks about the Unmatched system, what your contents are, talking about heroes and sidekicks, setup, your turn. You can maneuver, and tells you what you do there. That's you draw a card. You have to draw a card, and then you can move, or that's optional. But if you choose the action maneuver, you draw a card. But the movement is optional. Kind of weird when you do maneuver, but that's the way it works. Then you have you can scheme, and these are these yellow cards here that usually are a little bit, they're not necessarily movement or combat, they're a little bit different. They're scheming, so they're usually using the character's special abilities of like Sherlock Holmes character has a lot of those. He's a schemer. You can also boost maneuver as well, and there's like a little boost icon that if you discard a card that has that with the, and then you use that number to move additional spaces, so that's how you boost on the move. So you have maneuver, scheme, and then you have attack. And then that's usually these cards. This can either be used as attack or defense. And then you've got just straight up attack cards. Let's see if there's an example here. They'll have that icon on it. If it has this half attack, half defense, you can use it for either. If it has just defense, you can just use it for defense. And then the attack is attack. And it might actually list who can do it. Like this one is bullseye. Some characters have sidekicks, and so it might have the sidekick's name on it. You can only use that card. If it has the sidekick's name, you can only use that card for use with the sidekick that's on the board. And then there's a little bit more about how you resolve the attack and defeating a fighter, winning the game, and basically you're knocking the fighter's hit points, which are on these dials, knocking it down to 0, and that's how you win the game. And they all have different hit points, and they all have different ways of getting it. I don't know if it's called hit points. Is it called hit points or life? Or yeah, that's the D&D in me. Everything's a hit point. Here's a combat example. As you can see, it's full color. Then you got special rules. You know, like Elektra has some special rules. Daredevil has some special rules. And Bullseye have some special rules because they're special. And this game does add something a little bit different than the other Unmatched series. They have these battlefield items. The other games don't have that. I assume you can still play this with the other Unmatched games, even though they don't have that in there. But when you're using, I guess, one of these boards, a Marvel board, you get the battlefield items because the other boards don't have that. There's different ways you can play this. There's free-for-all, there's team play, and there you have it. So that's the rules. You're going to have some punch-outs here. Normally the punch-out is just the dial because each one of these kind of have a life dial or hit points, whatever you want to call it. And then these are these battlefield items, which are new to Marvel. So there we have it. Then we have the board. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let's look at the minis here because that's what you guys have been waiting on. And I kind of like the minis. I think they're kind of cool. I'm not a painter, so I'll not end up... I will most likely, almost never, you take whatever percentage you want to paint these. But that's Elektra. Here is Bullseye. And I think they kind of have a little bit of a pre-wash on them if you wanted to paint these. And there's Daredevil. There you have it. Then you're going to have, so Elektra's going to have some minions. So that are really nice little plastic. They're not just cardboard counters. They're nice little plastic tokens, and they'll go in their slot there. So she's the only one that has minions in this deck. And then these right here are just the little rivets to put the life wheels together. Now I'm calling them life wheels. All right. And then, of course, everything fits nicely back in the box. You know, these tokens go in here. Those little life tokens go in there. And then let's open up some of these cards here because that's kind of the heart of the game is how you play these cards. And these cards are also the, you know, kind of the lifeblood of the characters as well. If you run out of cards, you're going to lose the game. So there's a couple ways to lose this game. You could run out of life on your dial, and then you can run out of these cards. And Elektra's kind of has a weird rule in that she can get resurrected. So she's got 2 dials. So you basically have to kill her twice or go through all her cards. So there's an example of the cards. You know, this one can be used for attack or defense, and it's got the value of 4. And you're basically doing a comparison. Unless there are special rules involved, you're doing a comparison between someone's attack and someone's defense, and the winner gets wins the combat. And there's some results that happen on that, and there might actually be some additional effects that happen on combat depending upon the card that's played. Like this one, after combat, Elektra takes 3 damage. Well, that's not good. So that's a scheme card there. There's an attack only card. See, this is the hand. So this is a card here, the hand. That's one of their little minions there. Only the hand that can attack with that card. She can't use that for her attack. Then anybody can use that. So there's an example of the cards that are in there. Then we have Bullseye, and one of his special abilities, which is kind of interesting, is he can hit. There's this, and I'll show it on the board, but there's a kind of a built-in line of sight that I was talking about. That one of the first games that I saw that in was Tannhauser, which was this, kind of alternate history, occult World War II game with minis, but they had the line of sight kind of built into the board, and Marvel, or the Unmatched, has picked that up and kept that as part of the key component of this. But Bullseye can attack from any up to 5 spaces away. Can attack from up to 5 spaces away, ignoring zones. So he doesn't need to look at the line of sight. He just 5 zones away, 5 these little circles, and boom. So that's pretty powerful. Range does not stop him. There's World's Greatest Assassin. So he's going to have a lot of cards that deal with range and stuff like that. Study the Target. Tactical Retreat. So there's all kinds of cool cards there for Bullseye. Then we have Daredevil. Get into his deck here. And his special ability is a little bit different. He's got like this boost ability. So certain of his cards, there's that boost that you have for movement, but then he has a boost for like his attack, and it really gets hyper strong if he's really down to just a few cards, because he's a Daredevil. He takes risks. So again, if you run out of cards, then you are, if you run out of cards, then you lose the game. So it's really risky to get low on cards, and his abilities work best when he's like really low on cards. So, and then you got like their movement there. I should have been showing that. So he's a melee person, so he has to be right next to the person. He can't attack over zones like Bullseye, and that's his movement. He can move 3 each turn when he chooses to move on his maneuver. So some of his cards there. And I think I like the art. I think it all looks good. I think this is a very solid game system. It plays well. It's very tactical. My youngest plays this game. She likes this game, playing this game with me. And it's kind of hard to find her to play fighting games or kind of combat games. She likes more abstract stuff, or like Splendor and Century Spice Road and Dixit and games like that. So here's the game board, and here's the place where you put those battlefield equipment. That's kind of new to Marvel, or new to Unmatched, I should say. Then these are the zones. So like if I'm standing here, I can attack anything. I can see and attack anything in the blue, and I can see and attack anything in the purple if I have ranged attack, right? If I have melee, I can only attack what's adjacent to me. So like this one right here has got a lot of view. This is like the top of a building here. So it can see stuff in blue, see stuff in the brown, see stuff in this dark red here. And this one, the green, blue, and dark red. So that I find that built-in line of sight really kind of cool. It's a nice, crisp, clean way of dealing with line of sight without any confusion. And then this map board's the same as the previous one, but you don't have a lot of the icons on it, and you don't have the filled in stuff. So this just shows more of the art on the map. It's the exact same map, but you see more of it because it's not being clouded with these shaded in circles. So if you want to see more of the map and just see little rims of where your line of sight is, then you can play with that map. And there you have it. That is what you get in the box of Unmatched Marvel Hell's Kitchen on Sanctuary Sunday. So, love to know what you think about this. Unmatched in general, but more specifically this game, Hell's Kitchen, these characters, or the addition of Marvel to the lineup of Unmatched games. Uh, just like to know what you think about it. I enjoy these. I've played these with all my kids. We've all enjoyed them. Some of them enjoy it more than others, but I find this to be a nice little tactical game with some very interesting game mechanics that really allows for quite a few decisions during the game. And there's a little bit of luck because you're drawing cards, but not a whole lot. I mean, you're making the decisions where to move, how to move, and what cards to play when you have them. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thanks for stopping by on your Sunday. Hope you're having a good one. I hope you found a little bit of sanctuary with me today. Take care. Thanks for watching.